Hi guys, Jake and MJ back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And throw them away. There we go.
Oh, mute that.
Oop, getting a little looping there.
Yeah, because the chat one.
Yeah.
You still have it. Actually, let me close that window.
Okay.
We're just gonna keep.
I've got a bunch of stuff open.
No, you would just
All right.
We don't
so
streaming
we're
it back in.
back.
Streaming it out.
We had to maneuver something of a new setup, because
no more Spectrum.
We are finally over and done with on Spectrum. We finally got rid of it. We're done with it. So this is our first time testing out with Philo for the live reaction. That is an online streaming cable service. So hopefully this will work well for us.
It's a much smaller lineup,
yeah.
But we only need Nickelodeon.
Yeah, we're really just, at this point, paying $20 a month just for Nickelodeon. That's the whole reason we got Philo.
What up? We got Omega Rez, Kaiju Rider, Jeremy Strickland.
Nice.
Chris Taylor's in here with some information about Hasbro not letting the Beast Morphers cast go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, I think I'd heard something about that.
Ryan Patterson, Zachary Shiloh, Daniel Graham. Hey guys. Oh, and Olivia.
Yep. And Scott just joined in. So welcome back, Scott and Zach and Dan and everybody else who just popped in.
I love this. We got everybody.
There we go. It's good to see you guys again.
Oh, where's... there he is.
I know
was just about to say, where's Joseph? There he is.
I know we had a little, sort of a mini live reactions last week where it was sort of last minute, and I know a lot of people didn't get to make it last week, so I'm glad
Plus it was, Ryu Soldier, so some people probably just didn't come because they don't watch Ryu Soldier.
That's also fair. But it's great to see you guys back again.
You know you should, because it's about to be the next Power Rangers.
Yes, I was just actually about to say that, because although we had heard the rumors, today is the first day of New York Toy Fair, and we did get confirmation that Ryu Soldier will, in fact, be the 28th season of Power Rangers.
I found out from the chat.
We don't know if it'll be both 28th and 29th. We have no information on that.
Brian Falk's back?
Last I checked, we don't know the name of the season, of the Power Rangers season yet.
No.
Unless that got announced within the last hour. I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
We were eating dinner. But it has been confirmed by Hasbro. This is no longer simply being reported from various unknown sources. It was part of the Hasbro presentation, where they showed Season 28 coming with images of Ryu Soldier.
My new booster suit is working very well. I'm much closer to your level.
Yeah. Well, you're just doubling up on the on the blankets there.
I'm sitting on 2 blankets instead of 1.
Is the weighted blanket one of them? Well, yeah, that's gonna add a lot of height. Now I feel like I should steal a pillow.
I have a lovely mosaic weighted blanket, and it's folded up under me right now, and it's helping me be tall.
But we also got various news on new toys that are coming out, including, like, I believe, large-sized variations on the Automorphin figures. They're not flip heads, but they're still original Mighty Morphin, where the helmet actually forms around the head, which is kind of interesting. They got, like, a little armor shoulder pack thing.
Hey, Devious.
Hey, good to see you.
Mighty Morphin Ninja Turtles?
We did get that as well, because there is the current comic book crossover between Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they released various concept art for what's coming in issue 4. Now, I'm a little bit behind on that. I just got my comics from Boom.
2, 3.
Yeah, I have 2. I just got issues 2 and 3 earlier this week, and I haven't read them yet.
Because Jake has sort of the mail version.
Yes.
Where they send it in the mail. You don't go to the comic book store. So sometimes it doesn't show up quite as on time.
Hopefully it's not lagging too much with our current setup. And I'm really hoping that right now, I'm hoping that Philo will operate well for us. This is our first time really trying to run this in this way. Because some funny stuff with regards to actually getting our system set up here is Philo, as I said, it's an internet cable streaming service.
Duct tape?
Um,
They got the duct tape off of Brennan, Yoshi, and Davy.
oh, there has been a trailer. So, alright, I gotta double back on and reference this. No one spoil Marissa on the trailer. No one spoil MJ on the trailer for what's coming up in Season 2. Various things have been revealed, but MJ hasn't seen that yet. Some of those things may or may not pop up
Like
while we're
Yoshi
watching
Sidarso?
while we're watching this episode. So I don't know if there's going to be an actual commercial during this episode, because this is literally the cable broadcast of it.
Mr. and Mrs. Jack in your J?
Okay. So, what I was saying before as far as giving you guys the heads up on the streaming with this is...
Piggy was the creator of the Evox virus? Oh great, they're starting with the fake spoilers again.
Wonderful.
Now I don't know what's real.
It's great. We know about the 2021 news of Ryu Soldier. That's the only thing that we've actually discussed so far. But we
That it will be Ryu Soldier.
But anything regarding what's coming up in Beast Morphers, we have not discussed. Because I didn't know if it was going to pop up in what we're watching today.
I'm a little bit spoiled.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, just a little bit.
IMDb spoiled me a little bit with one of the actors who's returning.
Yeah, we'll try and keep it as pure as possible going into it.
What can I say? There are certain actors that I follow their work. And I was like, oh, hey, they got something...
What? Oh,
new
yes.
credit.
But yeah, our for like the fourth time trying to explain it.
Sorry.
We got this new cable streaming service. It's a weird thing because our smart TV is an old smart TV, so we don't have the app for it on our smart TV. We then decided to pick up a Chromecast.
Yeah.
Which, incidentally, also does not have the app for Philo.
Yeah.
So that was not actually
Chromecast
helpful for this purpose.
Doesn't have the apps for anything,
But
Philo's app doesn't have a casting button.
Right. Philo's app doesn't have a casting button. I'm
Because
sorry, I will
Chromecast
amend
will
that.
take input from any app with a casting button.
But
whether
Philo's
or not
app doesn't
it's
have a
for Chromecast.
doesn't have a casting
For
button.
example, YouTube has a casting button that you can use for all kinds of things.
Right.
For Chromecast, for the old smart TV, for somebody else's iPad, apparently.
Well,
that button works for Chromecast. But it's not in...
But then we realized, oh, hey, we have a Roku for, like, the TV we have in the other room. And
it's an ancient Roku.
And that Roku has the Philo app. So that's great. That's great. And then I went to go make that work today, and then I found out that, for whatever reason, the DVR element of Philo doesn't work on that version of the Philo app.
Yeah.
So that's 3 different ways that we were trying to figure out how to play Philo.
And that's the thing, is
on
that
this TV.
We were just testing it last night with an older version of Beast Morphers, and everything was fine because that didn't use the DVR. That was using some sort of, like, ancientness.
The DVR function of Philo is really, like, non-existent. I don't know how to make it work. But I did manage to figure out that somehow...
Chromecast can take?
Chromecast can take a cast from Chrome.
Any Chrome.
So, I currently have Philo brought up on my desktop in the studio, which is casting over to the Chromecast attached to our smart TV, which is not very smart. And so I simply just took the wireless keyboard from my desktop, so that all I can do, all I'll do is when it's time to go.
The only thing we can do is
hit
space.
I'm gonna hit space for play and cross my fingers that it all works.
Because if it doesn't, he's got to get up and go in the other room.
It's the only way that we've been able to find a way to get Philo successfully onto the TV with this episode that just aired today.
No, not Philo from Linkara's current storyline.
Because it otherwise only will cast old episodes Unless I go into the TV guide page, go back to 8 a.m., and click on it there, which is not something I can do via any of the other apps that we have for Philo.
Yeah.
It won't register it from the show page, but it will register it from the TV guide page. So long as I go back in time. So
it'll probably show up on the show page like 3 days from now.
Well, no, tomorrow. Literally tomorrow. It'll be on there.
That's a nice wireless keyboard.
I literally have to time travel from the other room to make this work. So I hope that it works for everyone. And
Logitech makes quality keyboards.
I think with all that, I probably ranted on enough.
Probably.
Except to say one last thing,
TV?
which is
obsolete.
Thank you to my wife for our Valentine's / 14 years of dating. Got me a pair
Our dating anniversary is the 20th.
Lightning figures. So I haven't had a chance to open them yet, but it looks like Nate and Ravi will be able to join us for Season 2 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers with the season premiere, Believe It or Not.
Click. Oh no. You hit space and it didn't do anything.
I did hit space, and it did not do anything. Space. Space. No, come on! I think I know what's going on.
What?
I think maybe my computer might be napping.
Oh, it took too long talking and your computer went to sleep?
Here you go.
Womp, womp, womp. As we mentioned, Jeremy, the Philo app on the phone does not have a casting option.
Okay, I'm just going to hit play from here.
Okay!
Power Rangers!
You're at the juice bar.
Yes.
Gotta have a juice bar now.
There we go. Hopefully the...
Did you leave the cursor on the movie?
I may have left the cursor in a bad location. I can't tell, because I can't see the cursor from here.
We're gonna watch this whole thing with the title up on the top currently.
Okay. No, I'm just gonna watch this. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Due to its success, Coral Harbor, the whole world is embracing Morph-X technology.
You know what? I'll do it.
You'll do it? Okay.
Morph-X Tower.
Oh! You're okay.
Okay.
It's just the latest addition to our growing network that will soon circle the globe.
Hey, Mayor.
You did. You left the cursor in the middle of the movie. And that's what kept the title up on top of what we were trying to watch.
So Morph-X is going worldwide.
Of course he's a teacher. I know! That used to irritate me so badly when I was in school. He's a teacher. Of course he left the cursor on the movie.
Aw, they're being cute. And they can be because she's not a
ranger anymore.
Oh, that's cute.
We discussed this last season.
That's right. I'd forgotten.
But the fact that she's no longer a ranger, so they can be adorable. But
oh, they're being so adorable. They're having a little picnic.
Now, you know, we still do have that issue with Zoe and Nate.
Yes.
They're both still rangers.
All right. Ooh. Fun target practice. Oh, nice. Having fun.
I tried to buy Jake one of those once. It never showed up.
Yeah, it's weird. This won't go well.
Give it all you got.
The title came from Ripley's Believe It or Not. I believe that.
Yep.
I believe that.
I wonder if Betty actually legit has superpowers, or if we're just going to ignore what happened at the end of the last one.
Tokyo Tower Go Buster movie? You're not gonna try and jump in with him, are you?
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Guys, you don't have super speed. He does.
How did they get wrapped up in it? This isn't a double Dutch machine.
I don't know.
You guys okay?
Oh, Paris. Something about Paris.
Yeah, that would make sense, actually.
Tokyo Tower does look an awful lot like the Eiffel Tower.
Ooh,
It's not like it's missed training.
what is that?
You know, except for being red and white.
Zoe's been helping me work on this project. Check it out. I've decided to call this the Beast-X Ultra Blaster.
Beast-X Ultra Blast.
And it lives between two of those little transporter things.
Yeah, that's where
that
they
you
tend
can-
to...
Yeah, so you can take it,
Beast-X blasters, but
Yeah.
it's also
teleport it,
rapid
whatever.
fire. Just in case anyone tries to come after our Morph-X again. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, they're still gotta be prepped. Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Too much power, too much power. And really need to work on that rapid fire.
That has a sticky trigger. I'm pretty sure he stopped shooting, and it kept shooting.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah. I hate to be that wall. Guys,
I'd hate to be a civilian that was anywhere in the vicinity
Oh,
while
what's
you
going
were
on with Steel?
news. Evox is back.
Dun dun dun.
He is. How do you know?
Once you look at the evidence,
Oh,
it's
no.
obvious.
Oh,
I've been doing research for
What?
weeks now.
Bigfoot,
I've found some
What?
pretty
underground
people?
lizard people,
stuff.
Loch
Loch
Ness
Ness
monster.
Look, I know it's a lot to take in. Even I was lost for words.
So, this is your evidence?
have you been reading Redbot's blog?
Remember that Morph-X tower spill in Sector Lima 3-2? It's all cleaned up. I checked the logs. No cleanup crews were ever assigned. That's 100 tons of Morph-X unaccounted for. It must have been stolen.
Okay.
No. My dad said
What?
it's taken care of.
Word.
Oh,
Man, he'd know.
Even
Oh.
mayors can make mistakes.
Oh.
We have to investigate.
the mayor said that it was okay.
Evox is gone.
The
We
mayor
destroyed
that's like,
him.
you
We
know,
were there.
infected with a little bit of
Underground
Evox.
Lizard people.
Steel's becoming a cryptid hunter. Yeah, he is.
These are ridiculous.
I don't know, some of these things seem kind of legit.
Some of them.
But you can't get obsessed.
I'm not. I'm sure I'm right.
You need to have proof. Enough with the conspiracy theories.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm not. My dad's back in town. It's been ages, and I can't wait to see him.
Aw.
That's enough training
Ages.
for
Where's he
today.
been for ages?
Oh, he's been helping. He seems to have been acting as something of a Morph-X ambassador.
Know just what to do.
You guys go. I've got to get the stabilizer fixed.
I don't know how you tie
Zoe, please don't stand in front of that thing while he's trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Through the woods.
proper blaster safety.
Yeah, some fresh air.
Muzzle safety!
Fantastic. See you in the morning then.
Bye, Seal.
I will get to the bottom of this.
Hey, Dad.
I feel like the whole Bigfoot and lizard people is
Saw you on
not
TV earlier.
necessary
How was Paris?
to your theory.
Well, my French is a little rusty,
I
but
think it's probably there just to make him look less credible.
What? Relax. I'm kidding. I can keep a secret. Very funny.
Alright.
Ready for dinner?
What's up with the mayor?
Tacos.
He's back from Paris.
Sorry, son, but I've got another meeting I need to get to.
We did just
Training's gonna be a lot of late nights until we get the global Morph-X network online.
It's okay, Dad. You can hang whenever you have time.
See you later.
I do like
But
how
I've been
this is
eating
spilling out
healthy.
into the world at large. This is actually a nice escalation for the series.
The whole of January?
Global Morph-X network.
I could do this.
Good morning.
Isn't that the Lima 3-2 tower? The one that leaked?
Indeed it is. Very observant, Devin.
Let's go.
Hiking.
Are we going hiking near the Lima 3-2 tower because Steele has some conspiracy theory thing he wants to show them?
Or at the very least wants to investigate for himself.
This is not a hike, this is a jog.
Yeah, a little bit. Or maybe they're camping?
Hold up, guys.
I may have missed that little
It's
detail.
time for a break.
Sounds good.
Especially since y'all are not
Look at the
hiking
scenery.
at a hiking
Guys, check this
reasonable
out.
pace. You
Does
are.
this person look familiar?
Not really.
Okay, Devin, what about you?
What person? You mean that blurry shape?
Really? Clearly, it's Evox's right-hand man, Scrozzle.
Not again.
It was
That's
taken
actually
2 days ago.
not a
Actually,
bad.
I
Scrozzle
found it
kind of did escape,
online,
guys.
So it must be true.
That's why you brought us
You
here?
found it online, so it must be true.
Stop this already. Our Scrozzle's toast. I think this is your Scrozzle. Just got overgrown.
Oh, impossible! Listen, there's gotta be some other clues.
Yeah, I found it online, so it must be true. That's terrible.
Aha! Footprints! You can't deny that a robot made these.
They're yours.
Are
Aren't
yours.
your footprints steel?
Huh? Oh, well, there may be some resemblance, but
No buts. You can't go around making wild claims without any proof.
okay, fine. I'll do this myself.
Come on, Seal. Where are you going?
To find proof, since you seem to love it so much.
Twitter has infected Steel. Oh, you know how it goes with those Twitter bots.
I think we're here to steal.
One day they're just, starting out, and the next day they're spouting all kinds of weird stuff because they learned from Twitter.
Charles gonna call.
Wow, he got away quick.
Steel! Steel!
What's this?
Robot footprints. He must have gone this way. Come on.
So what do they see?
He is a sentient creature.
Unbelievable. Steel really was onto something.
Chronix and Scrozzle.
With the Morphers. Otherwise, Evox will blast you to bolts.
Steel was right.
And where is Steel right now?
Huh. Rangers, bow, wow. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go. Go.
Are t-shirts that tie in the front back in, or is that supposed to be a 90s reference?
Just as we fight with beast, morph, and might, together we rise. Bow, wow, wow, wow.
Go, go, Power Rangers.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Power Rangers, beast, morphers. There we go. We got a new opening.
Yeah, I noticed.
We got the Evox body in there. We have some the American equivalent of Powered Custom in there. There was another thing in there that I don't know if you caught or not, but I did. I'm sure you guys did as well.
He's not hurting anything.
Don't miss a new classic
That pony just destroyed that street light.
Bojack Pony. What? That popcorn is very confused. That egg is very distressed.
Those hands are very hands.
They're from Alien, man. They open up and they're smaller hands inside.
Yeah. So this seems to be running okay. Not like resolution kind of comes and goes a little bit, but at the very least we haven't had any like screeching, which is nice.
I can't believe slime is still a thing.
It's why wouldn't it be? It's been Nickelodeon's thing for the last 30 years.
I know. That's the part that I can't believe.
I mean, once
You'd think slime would have gone out of style after about 10, but no.
well, it was part of their identity. It's part of their brand. They're not gonna stop doing that.
So much else has changed.
Yeah, I know.
So much else has changed.
But orange and slime are the two core parts of the Nickelodeon brand when it comes to specific recognition. Like, yes, there's also it being a kids channel and having cartoons and whatnot, but the fundamentals are
Well, I mean, yeah, there are
slime and orange
Nick
as
tunes,
far
but
as
also Nick
the
has
brand.
live action.
Yeah,
I mean, back in our day, it was like Clarissa Explains It All.
yeah.
Now it's like, what, Henry Danger.
Henry Danger, right.
So cute.
But what on earth? Oh, yes, I saw this at the Target.
Oh, yeah?
It's Polly Pocket, but with Lego.
Really?
Yeah, they're little compacts that
Huh.
that basically
Interesting.
have little scenes in them that are Lego friends.
Oh. Okay, so it's not actually Polly Pocket, but it's Polly Pocket-esque.
It's Polly Pocket in that it's a compact.
Right.
A little
But it's not the Polly Pocket brand.
No, it's not the Polly Pocket brand. It's Lego brand, but it's Polly Pocket concept.
Yeah. Right, right.
My Pacifica. It's the
Henry
only
Danger series
Pacifica
finale
that's
trailer is epic.
And this is my Pacifica.
Nick's orange, yet we skip all the Orange Ranger seasons.
I skip all of
Yeah, yeah. I
Nate's
feel
actor got nominated for Kids' Choice.
it's true.
Go ham.
So hopefully he gets. I don't know quite when the Kids' Choice Awards are this year, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed for it. But yeah, it is ironic that we keep not getting Orange Rangers on Nickelodeon.
When Nickelodeon is all about the orange.
I feel so bad for the Orange Ranger videos. Sean wants to have an American Orange Ranger so bad, and he still hasn't been able to. The closest
Did he
he's come
name
is.
himself that before there were any Orange Rangers, or
Well, I mean, there was.
aside from Boom,
Let me think.
or did he
The
name
first-
himself that in reference to an actual Orange Ranger?
I think it's mostly just that he likes the color orange. But I believe that it was before. Two Future? It might have been right after. And we're back.
Orange Ranger when?
Oh, there's a new Drilltron.
There is.
Looks like the Morph-X tower leak was no accident.
Mm.
And it wasn't cleaned up. It was stolen. Come in, Commander.
Devin, how's the training run?
Sprazzle and the Robotron are in the woods. They're stealing Morph-X for Evox.
What? Are you sure?
Positive. We'll get more intel and be in touch.
Yep.
Put the Zords on standby.
Copy that.
So where's Steel right now?
Yeah, that was my question before we went to commercial.
Yeah.
This is going to be great.
Figured we would have seen him by now.
Well, we're about to report it. Stomping time!
Apparently, Nick promoted Power Rangers with a little sticker kind of bumper
that's
during
nice.
SpongeBob. So.
Good. I mean,
That's-
SpongeBob. I mean, that is when most of their advertising takes place, because that's what most of their programming is.
It's also one of their more popular properties, so
Yeah.
advertising this starring SpongeBob is a good call.
Yeah.
Even if I can't stand SpongeBob.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, hey,
I like that
you
they.
can see the Labyrinth poster, the reflection of the Power Rangers.
Oh, that's fun. Nice original fight scenes. It's always nice when we get some of that.
I can't even tell. How can you tell? Because it's not like you can tell from video quality, because
That's true, it's
the
not-
stream is coming through kind of grainy.
It's subtle things combined with it's a combination of stylistic things and my familiarity with Go Busters.
That is an acceptable use of that term.
What?
Olivia. She said they're sucking SpongeBob dry. But, the auto filter tried to take it out as bad language. But,
Hey, Steel. There we go.
camera
Nice and some
angles. Cody says camera angles are the,
It's a combination of a number of different things. Like, stylistically, American footage is different, and wow, he just sent that thing
He's talking
flying
about
way
this
too
week's
easy.
Henry Danger commercial, a spoiler. Not to me, but ask the other people in chat. We don't watch Henry Danger. But
Yeah,
We need to say that.
it's
as long
Henry
as no one
Danger.
else in chat objects, then you can go
If
right
if
ahead.
it's a different if it's a different show, we that is not related to Power Rangers, but okay. Whoop! Here comes the Gigadrone. Ooh.
Woohoo!
Oh, is this the underground?
This is.
Okay.
The leaked Morph-X is still
Yep, there it goes.
That Gigadron must be drilling down to steal it. We have to stop it.
I just knew something like this would happen.
How?
Minding your own business, Rangers, 'cause you won't be able to
Oh, the Robotron's back. He just got sent off into the woods. He managed to come back.
Let's go.
All right, got to bring out the Wrecker Zord.
I think I have an idea. Nate, is it possible for the Wrecker-Zord's crane to lower my Zord into the hole?
I remember this. This was a great Zord battle.
We've got a crazy plan.
But also, there's the matter of like the New Zealand setting is the other thing that can tip things off.
Okay, Ron. You stand guard while we do this. Roger that. Here we go. Extending Wrecker crane arm. screws? Sure am.
Hey. Hey, Kelson.
Activating winch.
I hope the people at Hasbro realize it's not Power Rangers without Kelson, so you better find something for him for the next season.
We have had plenty of seasons without Kelson, but it would be nice to continue to have him with the show. He's just a delight to have. Oh, and here come Buzzords. Not Gigatronics. That's it.
Why do they call it a Gigadrone? Because it gets destroyed as a paying gig. What are we going to do about the gig economy?
I know.
Just results in Zords getting blown out.
There we go.
Aww. I mean, it probably is saving money. Apparently, the new Henry Danger is a 45-minute clip show.
That's
which is a disappointment.
Yeah. I don't follow Henry Danger, but that sounds disappointing.
But 45 minutes, having your special of anything turn out to be a 45-minute clip show is disappointing.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the drill drone. It's got 2 more Gigatronics. I forgot.
Yes, you can, Hegelson. Yes, you can.
I forgot how many Gigatronics that thing had.
Speaking
and
of Henry
commercial
Danger.
time. Okay, so this is them advertising for the clip show that
Probably.
I assume just aired earlier today.
I'm honestly surprised I'm still alive.
The bubble rhymes.
Chew some gums, I had some scum.
Chew emergency?
Weird.
Don't know the emergency.
And the stumble blind.
Worst. I want to wear the stupid.
Oh, plus bloopers. Oh man, it's kind of jarring to see him at the beginning and end of the series. Just
He grew up.
he completely has grown up
He's a
now.
little kid, and now that is a strapping young man.
Yep.
His
But
voice dropped.
I really love how creative Go Busters got with its sword battles. I feel like not
I'm
that
sorry,
many
why did
series
they have the
really got
leprechaun
as
laying
creative
there
as
in
that.
that position?
He was relaxing.
He
He's
looked
been
like
running
the rainbow
all
was coming
day.
out of his behind.
He's been running all day. He just wanted to lie down and relax without the kids messing with
Oh,
him.
it hasn't aired yet, but apparently he
Oh,
already
they'll.
knows it's going to be a clip show.
Oh, okay. Oh, it airs at 8 o'clock.
Get in, Brian. Thanks, Mom.
Howdy. Again.
Go wherever they need you. The all-new Highlander.
But yeah,
Toyota.
among other things, like Power Rangers has slightly different style of effects.
Helping them grow up. Peace
The
out.
camera tends to track in slightly different ways. It's stuff that I can't fully communicate in a specific way, but there's a definitively different style between the way that Power Rangers is filmed versus the way that Sentai is filmed, including their action choreography. And I don't even know exactly how to describe it either. These are
Barista Girls comes with all you can see here. Each sold separately from Jack
Kitten.
Pacific.
Kitten cat barista girl.
baristas.
Not baristas.
Baristas. Okay,
It's a blind box toy. You buy the coffee cup and it's a different cat inside. But
interesting.
blind box toys are... They upset me because basically they're gambling for children.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to get this cat, but I keep buying boxes and getting the wrong cat.
Right. What are my thoughts on a hypothetical Henry Danger Power Rangers crossover? Unfortunately, I don't know.
Enough about Henry
I don't know
Danger.
Henry Danger well enough to think on how that would function.
The
I
only thing
feel
know
like-
is that he's a superhero and he transforms by chewing one color of bubblegum and transforms back by chewing the other color of bubblegum.
Apparently something like that, just going off the commercial we saw. Here's
I
the,
saw half an episode.
I mean,
Someone
logistically,
got a hold of their bubblegum.
I don't. Logistically, I wouldn't see it happening because Henry Danger's in its final season, and it's filmed in a completely different country from Power Rangers. So logistically, I don't see that happening.
Oh yeah, is Henry Danger a California production?
I presume so. Since most shows are. I don't have any reason to assume that Henry Danger would be filmed in New Zealand. It's largely a soundstage show, so it doesn't make sense for them to be filming anywhere but the next downstages.
Makes sense.
And we're back.
I don't know, I thought part of the reason they go in New Zealand is to avoid the actor union.
Well, yes, that's part of it. But also locations. Like, Power Rangers does film in exterior locations. Like, it was a combination of multiple factors, not just for non-union actors. You can find non-union actors in the United States, hence why they fly American actors out to New Zealand. But there are a lot of other factors. And like right now, this is Sentai footage. I can tell this is Sentai footage.
Well, I just happen to remember this is Sentai footage, but I wouldn't be able to tell just because I don't remember something that's not Sentai footage, because there's always the possibility that I forgot it.
Every now and again, yeah, they get really close to matching styles, and it's difficult to tell.
Winch!
But something about the framing is definitively different.
Are you kidding me?
Nice.
I forgot about that part.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen this episode.
Yeah.
Or since we've seen the source footage of this
Yeah,
episode.
this Go Busters.
Yeah. Nice. Teamwork. Like, also just the landscape here.
Are they going to use the out-of-control gun?
I don't know.
Or is that going to get held back for a future episode?
It feels like it's getting held back for a future episode because they're doing their finisher with Sentai footage, and that thing does not exist in the Sentai, to my knowledge, to my recollection.
No, I don't think so.
Nice.
Watching along, trying to go back, and your recording restarted.
Oh.
Where in the episode?
Oh, they just blew up the
The
Drilltron.
Drilltron.
Air support.
Time to take to the sky.
Commander, deploy the jet and chopper zords.
Commander,
There we go.
deploy the jet and chopper zords.
So that should hopefully sync you back up.
Robbie's having a bad time with the Gigadrones.
Whoop, here comes. Nice, the Flyers.
Hey!
Phenomenal timing.
Let's do this!
There we go.
Hey, I'm Jax. I'm a New Yorker for some reason.
Apparently, it was recently revealed through various art assets that Jax's name back in development was going to be Skip. Woo! Beast power. Nice.
Yeah, you guys are celebrating. Your friend's still down a hole trying to fight some stuff.
I still got the Cheetah Beast blaster. So now he's going to finish up the Gigatronics, and then we can
It's
take
such an
care
obvious
of the...
Nerf gun. Look, it's even got the blue-tipped
Yeah.
dirt in its mouth.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, it's not really that. The prop is probably not exactly Nerf blaster, but it is such a oh yes, we are going to sell a Nerf blaster of this. We shall even design it so that when it's got the special Power Rangers darts in its mouth that are blue-tipped, it looks right.
One thing I like as a subtle shift from the source footage is that
Gigatronics!
They were searching for the it was leaked, and they had leaked Morph-X that from a spill that they were recollecting. Whereas I believe in the original source episode they were mining Enetron. There we go, Striker Megazord. Boom.
Bum, 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 bum.
Virus eliminated. We did it.
was eliminated?
Yeah,
The
I
virus
mean,
that was eliminated.
that's what they like to say.
The crew was already taking care of the Morph-X spill.
Glad to hear it. Have you found Evox's base?
No, ma'am. I ran a scan of the cyber dimension. As far as I can tell, it's deserted. No sign of Evox. They're hiding
Interesting.
somewhere else. So,
Probably
we don't even
this
know where that
dimension.
Gigadrone came
Yeah.
from.
Right now, we can only assume that today won't be the last attack. We
No
have to
I like that
I'll inform the
they're
mayor.
keeping this hidden from the Rangers for now.
All thought I had a screw loose. And actually I did. See?
What?
Luckily, they fixed it. But really, I just
Well, he
wanted
fixed
to
it.
get to
Then
the
why do
truth.
you still have it?
Truth is, your evidence was
Probably
right.
it's a replacement
Like the tower
screw.
leak. And I guess it could have been a photo of Scrozzle.
It was so nice worrying about Robotrons. I guess we didn't want to believe that they were back.
We're sorry
We didn't want to believe that you know who is back.
Forgive us?
Yes.
Of course. But on one
Harry
condition.
Potter,
What's
I
that?
will not
You
tell
all
lies.
join my expedition. I have evidence that proves Coral Harbor is home to the one and only Loch Ness Monster.
Nice.
The one from Scotland?
She's here on vacation. I know it.
Nice.
Everybody reporting for duty, Ranger Steel.
We got everything we need, Steel, but these goggles sure make it hard to see.
You know, a boat trip could be fun.
Why not?
Excellent. Let's go find Nessie. Come on, Ben and Betty.
Okay. They're a little disoriented from the goggles. Ooh. That was silly.
Well, at least it gives them a reason for walking into
Oh,
crossing glasses.
trailer.
Power Rangers' greatest enemy returns.
Evox is back.
To beat him, he'll be awesome. You need
I like.
That monster doesn't look like anything from.
battle modes. Activate Beast-X mode.
Which
Okay, well,
monster?
purple her makes sense, but
Yeah.
the yellow-faced Evox thing.
No, that was his final form.
That was?
Yeah. We saw it at the end of last season.
No, I mean, is that something from
Yeah.
the Go Busters?
Yeah, that was the form that got destroyed midway through the series.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't remember that guy.
But yeah, no, that was Messiah's physical form when he gained a physical form. I like that they haven't actually revealed how Evox is back, or even shown Evox in his new form. So it's sort of a nice little soft re-entry into the
Yeah,
series.
I definitely saw purple.
We saw that Purple Roxy is going to be a
Purple
thing.
Roxy, yeah.
Among other elements from Go Busters. So it looks like that's the trailer I've seen before, not the new trailer that was revealed today through Toy Fair. So we'll have to see what gets revealed later. But we got interesting stuff going on. At this point, I think it's pretty fair to say that we're in agreement on how Evox is back. We predicted this from the end of...
Oh yeah, he's all up in Mayor Daniel's cranium.
Yeah. But we don't know the mechanism of it.
First impressions regarding the Sentai counterparts of Devin, Robbie, and Nate are adults while Zoe's is a child. I mean...
Ish.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously, Nate is definitely very much an adult, but Sentai Robbie is still pretty young.
No, Sentai Ravi is 26.
Sentai Robbie's the older one? Is it Sentai...
Sentai Devin is
Sentai Devin.
20.
Okay.
They're 16, 20, and 26.
Yeah.
With Gold being... I want to say
Gold
around
is
40.
considerably older, yeah.
Thereabouts. No, wait.
Nate is... Jin is older.
He'd be like...
He's chronologically older, but then he's also
He'd
got
be
that...
in his late 30s. I want to say actually 38.
Yeah. But then also he's got that whole thing where he was in stasis.
Right. I say that because, if I recall correctly, it'd been 13 years since the incident that brought everything into the other dimension.
Now, that being said, the Nate and Zoe thing is fine, because, first of all, that's not something they pulled from the Sentai.
Yeah, if anything, they sort of reversed the ages a little bit.
Yeah, because Nate is younger now.
Now Nate's arguably younger than Zoe. We don't know for certain.
think we
It's
know for
slightly
some
implied.
degree because I think it's implied that Nate is a minor, and that Zoe is not.
It's implied
It's
somewhat.
entirely possible it's 17, 18 there.
Yeah.
But Nate is still
At the
ostensibly...
very least, he's been with Grid Battle Force since he was a child.
Yeah. Well, just the fact that, like, the commander was able to ground him to the base and stuff like that indicates a certain degree of in loco parentis going on there.
Right.
Whereas Zoe was just an employee working in the laundry, which leads me to believe she was an adult.
Yes.
Even if she's 18 and he's 17.
But
but that is not something they pulled from the Sentai, so I don't think we have to worry about that.
No. It's just a matter of the flip-on thing. Sort
Nate
of
was
like
driving, so he's at least 16.
when you think about, like,
probably 17.
the change of how Badana and Brax's relationship was very different.
Yes.
In Super Ninja Steel as opposed to Ninja.
Right.
But one thing I'm curious about is how they're going to be handling Blaze and Roxy's characters moving forward.
We saw Roxy going on a picnic. I didn't see anything to do with Blaze.
No, he was fighting Devin in the first scene at the gym.
Right.
Remember, we were a little distracted because
I was probably...
No, you got fed up with it by the end of the fight, but
I couldn't see anything past all the garbage on the screen, the pause button.
it was still very visible.
It was grayed out. I was frustrated. There's a reason I went in there and fixed
I know,
it. It's because I wasn't getting what was going on.
But it
So, okay, during that part where I wasn't getting what
they
was
were
going
fighting.
on...
That was the whole scene at the gym.
Okay.
The entire scene at the gym was Devin and Blaze fighting with their bow staffs, I believe.
I remember Devin. I just didn't recognize his fighting partner.
Oh, you didn't realize it was Blaze that he was fighting?
Right.
Okay.
And it's probably because everything was garbage and in my way. I thought he was just sparring with a random person.
Oh, it's Blaze.
I believe you.
It may have also just been the fact that he was dressed differently than he has been in a while. Him and Roxy have been wearing their
They're in civvies now.
those black outfits for a long time.
And now they're in their civilian gear because they're civilians now because they are not Power Rangers. Which means that Ravi and Roxy can have picnic and be all cute.
But we know that we are going to see some form of cybervillain Blaze and Roxy again.
Because we've definitely seen Purple Roxy. We've seen Escape.
Like, because we haven't used any of the Sentai footage of their characters yet. We've only used original footage of their characters.
Well, for starter for 10, Escape is in yellow.
Right. And for Blaze, we just haven't gotten to any of the fight scenes because his counterpart, at the very least, that suit wasn't introduced until very late in the series.
Yeah. Well, then again, neither was Escape.
Yeah, her suit was...
Escape was mostly the card arc.
Yeah. Neither of their suits were really introduced until past the halfway point.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting seeing how they get reintegrated in as villains. Hopefully this doesn't mean too many bad things for real Blaze and Roxy. It could be that they just get...
Recombed?
They may just get recombed. Yes, they may just end up back in their stasis pods again.
Yeah, well, let's hope Nate is 17, and hopefully with the Focus episode we can see his parents celebrating his 18th birthday. I mean, it would be nice for his parents to show up, but also, I'm pretty sure 18, 17 is not really a problem. I mean, you teach high school, there's 18-year-old students.
Yeah,
who date 17-year-old students.
Yeah.
As long as the people are still in the same phase of life, that's cool.
17, 18 is one of those sort of gray areas, and I think it depends a little bit on the state. And also, this is Power Rangers. They're not doing anything beyond, like...
Holding hands!
They might hold hands.
If they're lucky.
If it gets serious.
As I said, if they're lucky, they'll get to hold hands.
No,
I'm pretty sure 17, 18 is cool pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
16, 18 isn't necessarily everywhere, but 17, 18 is, because it definitely is in New York.
Oddly enough, I do recall that Alicia Armstrong now, but Sid's actor from Power Rangers SBD was in a movie about that very topic.
Oh,
an MTV movie called Jailbait.
Well,
that was back before she did Power Rangers.
I mean, it can get weird if one of them's in high school and one of them's in college, because those are different phases of life with different ways of living,
Right.
and different amounts of freedom and different amounts of power.
Right.
But these guys are clearly in the same phase of life here. They're both working full time.
Right. Now back. Now we've
I'm losing the chat. There we go. Hasbro
gotten
would
very
recreate
caught up
Red
on this whole
Buster
thing.
and Enter footage. What do you think?
If they would.
If Hasbro would recreate Red Buster versus Enter footage, what would you think?
I mean, to a certain extent, we kind of have been doing that, just with a completely different character in the form of Blaze. But it depends on which fight you're referring to specifically, if you're thinking of a specific fight, because Enter didn't really necessarily fight the same way that Blaze did, the way that Blaze has.
Do they get to do pecks on the cheek now? Someone was saying pecks on the cheek earlier.
Yeah, there was a peck on the cheek when they were on their picnic,
Oh, that's true.
before Robbie ran off.
Robbie and Roxy got a peck on the cheek.
Yep.
That is something for Power Rangers.
Well, I mean, we did get some of that from Calvin and Haley, and from, I believe, Tyler and Shelby may have gotten some of that as well.
All right.
Peck on the cheek has been well established.
It's getting
now.
kind of common. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But yeah,
There was a very long kissless period there.
I will be, I think, a little disappointed if we go back to status quo for the series too quickly. Because I did feel like Dino Supercharge functionally got back to status quo very quickly in certain ways, where Heckle was, infiltrating the team for a while, for at the very beginning of the series, but then very quickly was revealed by the third episode, and then he basically went back to
that out a lot better, the Heckle infiltration.
And then after
Roxy
that,
might
he
be
basically
purple
went
because
back to
Evox will
being
try and rebuild
the
it,
same
but
sort of role that Sledge had.
Yeah, and purple is the opposite of yellow, so that's kind of cool.
But assuming that we are correct that the mayor is basically acting as host to Evox right now and manipulating his actions, I really hope they keep that dynamic for a while.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good potential,
And not
I think, in there.
And not
I mean,
don't let the Power Rangers find out about it too soon.
I mean, there's a reason that I, again, used that exact same plot point in Grid Defense.
Power Rangers, Grid Defense.
It's got to be a coincidence,
We rely
but
on
it's
the
such a
power of
funny
friends.
coincidence that they're having the evil, like, villain masquerading as the mayor.
As the mayor.
Like, what are the odds of that? It's just really, really funny.
It is funny.
Like, I don't believe that, again, I don't believe that they flat out copied me or anything like that. I'm not making any of those claims. I just find it very, very funny as a concept, because it's something that Power Rangers hasn't done before that I did in my fan film, and they're now doing in the adaptation of the same source material. I'm pretty sure it's just a very funny coincidence of strange minds working alike.
You know, and you are both working for the same source material, but the thing is, I don't know if there was anything in the source material that really implied that.
No.
It just lends itself to that somehow.
Well, it's because of the implications for the city of the towers. You feel like you want a representative of the city
because of the
functioning as a character.
Because of the towers.
And that was sort of my approach.
That makes sense.
And to a small degree, we may just both be copying VR Troopers. Where it wasn't the mayor, but it was a businessman who had a very prominent role in the city, who did double as the main villain. And I'm not going to pretend that I wasn't somewhat inspired by Grimlord. And I'd be amused if they were also inspired by Grimlord, because we have established that, Chip Lynn worked on VR Troopers. So he's got first claim on that idea anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he may not have, I think I forget exactly who was showrunner for VR Troopers. It may have been Doug Sloan at the time, may have been Tony Oliver, but I'm not 100% certain either way. But I do find it just very funny.
Turns out the enemy Zords are worn as suits by random actors.
That's...
Yeah.
I mean, that is sort of how that works.
Yeah.
As a TV show. I may be misinterpreting what you're talking about there.
The bad guy in your fan film posing as mayor versus the Mayor Daniels situation. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the bad guy in our fan film was, first of all, a bad chick.
Yeah. Stephanie was so great as Praxis.
Stephanie was awesome.
She did a great job.
She's a wonderful person.
I
still
would
follow
love to
her
do...
on, like, Instagram and stuff, and she's a professional princess.
She is. And Zoe, our Yellow Ranger, works with her now, and it's hilarious.
That's right. We saw them recently doing Frozen characters, right?
Well, Zoe does a great Moana.
Yeah.
She frequently gets gigs as Moana in the area for like kids' birthday parties and other events.
And whatchamacallit, she does Elsa and she does Rapunzel. Stephanie.
Well, she does primarily Elsa and Anna. I know.
I've seen her do Rapunzel as well.
Rapunzel as well.
And then, of course, she's got that fairy that she does at Ren Fairs.
But I kind of love that two actresses who I believe met through our fan film project have now been working together for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
amazing.
sure Stephanie was the one who had the connections, and she got Zoe into the field.
Yeah.
As professional princessing. It's lucrative.
Yeah. Apparently. It works as a gig.
You have to have a certain personality, though, because, when you do those things, you're used usually for, like, kids' parties or something. Like, you have to be able to handle kids really well.
So, back to the episode itself. The, like, core story with Steel, I felt...
The Loch Ness Monster thing, a little bit weird.
I felt like they had an idea for the type of story they wanted to do, where it was a little bit of the boy cries wolf thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they also really wanted to play with the cryptid concept, partially because I think Becca in particular loves cryptids.
Who doesn't love cryptids?
That's me reading into it a little bit.
Did you read the Alex Jones conspiracy board, though?
I think they wanted to have fun with that, while also having the boy who cries wolf kind of story.
Or who's the one who does it fictionally? Charlie Day?
Oh yeah, he's got the one from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But I felt like it didn't quite track as far as lesson of the day sort of thing worked because he kept making it too... He kept along first a reasonable line of thought.
And then he went off.
Kept veering into wacky things that made it reasonable for them not to believe him. And then at the same time, they were
wrong
to not believe him, but also being overly dismissive of the more reasonable things that he wanted to look into. So there was
but
sort of...
he was also damaging his credibility severely. Now, speaking of conspiracy theories, Evox is a corruption of Grimlord's data over 2 decades. VR Troopers is part of this canon.
You know what? I would love that.
You can thank Omega Res.
Thank you, Omega Res. But yeah, I felt like that element of it was a little unbalanced, and then kind of got shoved into the background once we got into the Zord fight. It was a great Zord fight. I love the Zord fight.
Great Zord fight. I mean, it was a great Zord fight the first time on Go Busters.
And this was really just sort of a reintroduction to the world and the beginnings of a mystery. And I liked that this was the beginnings of a mystery. It's a mystery that we basically know the answer to, but it's a mystery that the Rangers don't know the answer to.
And I really hope that they don't know the answer for a while.
Yeah, and we also don't know exactly how that
I really hope they don't tip
mystery
their
will
hand
play out
too soon, like they did with
Heckle. Yeah, I'm hoping the same. Like,
I don't know why this is heckled. But
you know what would actually be great?
What would be great?
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. If the reveal that the mayor was Evox, was like our lead-in, was our mid-season finale.
That'd be good.
Because I feel like that could be a good game changer and cliffhanger going into the big hiatus. And that would drive the conflict of the remainder of the season if Devin suddenly becomes aware of his father's secret. Which...
Around which time Mayor Daniels could possibly say something such as, "Forces of darkness empower me."
I haven't watched VR Troopers in so long. Like, there was I got this close to being involved in a fan film reboot of VR Troopers. That would have been a really interesting project, but the timing ended up being such that this was going to be the summer...
I'm sorry, Chris.
Sorry about that. This was going to be summer of 2009 that we were going to be doing that.
Ooh, our thing is blinking back and forth between orange and red. And
Oh, the health on the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, that fan film would have been done during the summer of 2009. So planning was in fall of 2008. And there were investors for the fan film. And then fall of 2008 happened. And the stock market crashed. And we suddenly didn't have investors anymore. And I had to figure out what I was going to be doing after graduating college. Whereas at first I was going to be working on, filming things. And then that wasn't happening. And eventually I ended up moving in with you. And
I had a job.
Struggling to find work for myself for a while. Until I decided to start doing my own videos. And that's how we got here. Because I decided to...
You decided to start making Power Rangers.
Since I couldn't find anyone to employ me in working on Power Rangers style film projects, I made my own Power Rangers style film project, and we've been working on that for the last 7.5 years.
Yes, we have.
Speaking of which, I have made some good editing progress on 89, but honestly, during this week off, yes, the week's over. I didn't make as much progress as I would have liked, but also, I really needed a bit of a break. Teaching is exhausting. There were just like the first 2 days, I was just like catching up on sleep with like 4-hour naps.
Sean says
yes, I do know that, so I will address that after I finish this point, so that I don't loop.
Sorry.
So I needed to catch up on sleep. There were things around the house that needed doing. I needed to get like maintenance done on my car, doctor's checkups, like all the things that have just been pushed off for months. In terms of like home maintenance and self-maintenance and car maintenance, and other things for work that just needed to be done, plus grad school stuff as well. That this really ended up being a big catch-up week of just recuperating, and I didn't get as much time really focusing on editing because I needed the recuperation time from working. So I do kind of want to float this by you guys, which is, I am thinking that we might take a break from Sentai live reactions. Just to give me a few extra hours a week, so I can make sure that I get the proper amounts of sleep.
You mean after the end of Re-Soldier?
After Re-Soldier. What did I say?
You didn't say when at all.
Oh, okay.
Specifying.
Yes. After Re-Soldier ends, I'm thinking that we might want to take a break from Super Sentai live reactions. Just because I'm working on finalizing my teacher certification, grad school, and trying to get things to a point where I can be within reach of finishing Power reviews. And that just few extra hours a week could make a big difference.
It can make all of the difference.
So, like, if there's still a big demand for it, I might consider continuing. And there's nothing to say that we might not, you know,
Pick it
come
up
back
again later.
In the summer
Yeah.
with like, oh, Power Rangers will be taking a break. We could be looking at Sentai twice a week during the summer or something like that. Or maybe after Beast Morphers takes its hiatus, maybe we might, you know, go back to one a week.
At that point.
At that point. But I'm thinking that we might need the break. Because we've been doing Super Sentai live reactions with only like a week off here or a week off there.
Because that's how Super Sentai rolls. 3
years straight now.
Yes.
And I think that a break might be warranted.
Yeah.
Again, if there's a whole lot of demand, I might change my mind, but I feel also like those videos don't get the same level of views.
They don't.
Compared to our other videos. So that's where we are on that front. Feel free to share your thoughts on that. I want to know what you guys think of the Sentai live reactions. Because I feel like they're not getting the same level of views as the Power Ranger live reactions. And it takes, you know, a bit to, you gotta set up the video footage, video equipment, an hour to film, gotta transfer the footage, edit the footage, render the footage takes an hour, export the footage takes an hour, upload the footage takes an hour. So that's,
no, it may not take
like
an hour for him to actually render the footage. It's an hour that the computer that would otherwise be used to edit is tied up.
Yeah. So
once you start rendering the footage, you can walk away.
Right.
But that is the computer that edits.
Right.
So he can't edit during that time.
So that's the those would be the hours I'd be getting back. So that's my thoughts on where we're at on Sentai live reactions right now. No, we haven't watched the trailer for the next season. If we get really grabbed by it, we might change our minds. But we'll see.
We'll see.
And we'll make sure to include our reaction to the trailer in a live reaction.
Yeah.
And the last bit of news that MJ noticed in the comments that is true, because I keep
We're
numbers
wrapping up,
here.
Chris, don't worry.
The 900th episode of Power Rangers is coming up. This was 700. This was 898. Next one will be 899. And the third episode of season 2 of Beast Morphers will be the 900th episode of Power Rangers. So, nah, this isn't the longest stream ever. We've gone longer. But it is a season premiere, and so we did want to get caught up with you guys and sort of explain where we're at, discuss where Beast Morphers is going now that we're back.
Where this channel might be going.
Where this channel might be going. Because I've been struggling to find time and frankly motivation to keep working on editing with Power Reviews. And it's because I've got so many other things going on, and I need to kind of scale back somewhere. I mean, as I mentioned in Sentai Live Reaction, I'm directing the school musical right now. That's a thing. And this is a school that has literally never done a musical before, and has never really had
uncharted territory.
An actual theater show before. I only just managed to properly file for the rights like yesterday. Finally. So that's been a whole thing. So I don't want to set unrealistic expectations. I want to make progress, get towards the end of Power Reviews. So that's where I'm at. And once I know where 89 is as far as when I can reasonably finish it, I will announce it, and I will be so happy, because 89 is going to be cool and crazy and nuts, and 90 is going to also be cool and crazy and nuts, and it's going to be a big game changer for year 3, because it's the midpoint of year 3 where we get the major plot turn of where the show is going. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you're looking forward to that. Don't give up hope on Power Reviews. It is still coming.
It better be.
We filmed
so much stuff.
We filmed things from literally.
You guys tortured me with that if you're not going to use it.
I believe we have filmed footage from every episode remaining.
Yeah.
We just haven't filmed all the footage. We've just filmed bits
Some of
and
the footage.
pieces of the next dozen episodes to come out, the final dozen episodes to come out. So I do want to actually use that footage and finish the series.
And we can be done. And I can do whatever I want with my nails and not worry about who I'm supposed to be.
Yes. So I think that marks it as a good time for us to wrap up. I know it's been a long stream.
At least I don't have to do things with my hair. Thank goodness for wigs.
I've got to, get this onto the computer, edit it, etc. And I will make sure to be in the Power Ranger Discord as per usual. The Power Ranger Discord with no vowels. If you search for it, you'll find it. So I'll pop in there. I'll say hello to you guys on the Discord. Looking forward to that Power Rangers Overdrive team up for episode 900. It's going to be great. I can't even pretend. No. Mac is a robot. I'm less angry about that in certain regards now, just because we have had actual like we do have a robot ranger right now, and he's great. Mac just wasn't. But yes, I hope that you guys all have a great night. I look forward to seeing... We both look forward to seeing you on a more regular basis again.
Yep,
every
Power
week.
Rangers every Saturday. Next week, same bad time, same bad channel.
Yes. And we still have the final 2 episodes of Rhea Soldier left to release.
Yes.
So keep an eye open for those as we do our live reactions to those and to this. And,
good night, Omega Res. Good night, Devious. Good night, Chris. Good night, Zach. Good night, Sean.
Good night to all a good night.
Good night, Olivia.
And until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Alright, I'm going to end the stream now. I'm hitting the end stream button, and it won't end. Has it ended on your end?
I can't tell because I have that window closed.
Okay. This won't
I only have
end.
the chat window open.
End? End.
How do we make it
It
stop?
won't stop.
Don't
Why won't it end?
stop streaming the live stream. No, really, do stop streaming the live stream.
Okay.
I mean, you could shut my computer down.
Let me... So it just... Yeah, for some reason it just does not want to click away. Alright, I'm gonna just click in a random spot and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Evox apparently wants this stream to keep going.
No.
But you guys have a good night.
But we are totally still live.
Why are we still live? What's going on?
I don't know.
How do I make it stop?
Huh.
What's happening?
Make it stop.
I don't know how.
I told you, if you have to, just shut my laptop down.
Okay, well, this is weird. So, okay, I'm gonna close this, and then hopefully that will end it. You guys have a great night.
This is so ridiculous.
We're still going, aren't we?
I think we're still going.
Okay, why? What?
Why don't you close the...
Well, here's the thing, if I close that, it's just gonna be a blank screen. It won't have actually ended the stream. Okay, I'm gonna just try and go back in here and see if I can... Why won't the stream end?
This is the stream that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started streaming it, not knowing what it was, and we'll continue streaming it forever just because
I'm back in
it's
here.
the stream that doesn't
Okay.
end.
Well, I think this will do it. I think this will do it. Okay. You guys have a great night.
Bye!
Yes! There we go. Are you sure you want to end the stream? Yes. You guys have a great night. What was that?